So we're gonna do this a little different. We're gonna try not to do any intros anymore. We're just gonna keep it unscripted, uncut. Let's see how this goes.
All right.
Let us know if you like it uncut or edited, but we're all about optimization and efficiencies. And I'll tell you what, editing takes a lot of time. So if we can get this done, one shot, one kill, knock it out.
All right.
I'm down with that. So let's get into it today.
We talking about our mistakes.
Top five.
Our top five
biggest mistakes. Some of these we've stopped doing. Some of them we are on the verge of just dropping altogether. And some of them we've done multiple times and haven't learned our lesson. But I think now is the time to it's a learning experience, for everybody, and that's one of the reasons we're on the channel is to help people learn. And if we could help you guys learn through our mistakes, even better. So let's get right into it. None of these are going to be in specific order. These are all equally
They all
bad.
suck.
Yeah, they're all terrible. So let's just get into it. The first one, Sal. You want to get into that?
Number one, I would say detailing and working in not so good neighborhoods.
Yeah.
AKA the hood.
Yeah. Working in rough neighborhoods.
Taking new clientele in rough parts without a deposit.
Yeah. Or we usually don't take deposits because we're a referral-based business, but
Non-referral.
yeah, sometimes a non-referral will call, and we'll make an exception here or there. And there's a direct correlation with working in certain neighborhoods or certain cities where we have tracked, because we track everything. And this is an important thing about tracking because this allows us to see whether something is worth pursuing or worth dropping, or if it's costing you money, or if there's a crazy opportunity cost, or if it's just a bad decision that you've made. So working in certain neighborhoods, there tends to be some of the same characteristics. And a lot of those characteristics are cancellations without early notification, and obviously if there's no deposit taken. So even when deposits are taken, there's still other issues that you have to encounter and deal with that you don't have to. There's just a lot more involved when you are working in certain neighborhoods. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're not judging anybody. We're not saying, it's just for us and for our business, the way we operate.
It ain't worth it.
We like to be focused on the job opposed to
our backs,
watching our back, or, worried something's going to go down, or loose dogs on the run out there.
Yeah, we like working in neighborhoods where people are walking their dog, not dogs walking by themselves.
Yeah.
Bunch of pit bulls walking around.
Yeah,
stray dogs.
It could get rough. So that's on the mobile jobs. And we just don't, it's just not our cup of tea. It's a lot of extra headache that you got to deal with.
And in the hood, we'll probably get into this one later, but in the hood, the weather's hot. It's hotter.
It does feel hotter in most.
And
you guys know, like if you're working in downtown Oakland and then you go to deep East Oakland, the weather's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like there's certain areas it tends to be. They don't have as many trees usually. There's I'm just saying just overall, but yeah.
And when it gets a little hot, when the heat goes up, the murder rate goes up.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So yeah, that's number one. So that's number one on our list of our 5 top mistakes. So we don't do that anymore. And we don't do it anymore because it's just problematic, and it turns a normal work day. There's so much extra packed onto the day that you have to deal with. It's very exhausting. It's more, I would rather do 3 jobs on site mobile than one in bad conditions. Working on gravel, working on the street, opposed to in a driveway or a covered area or in someone's garage. If we're mobile, we want it to be as comfortable and as controlled as possible, even when we're mobile. So yeah, that's number one.
We learned our lesson?
Yeah, learned our lesson. No mas. And number 2 is going to be one that I experienced early on, and one that I kind of preach this. I don't tell people not to use marketing. Just be careful and be wary that just know. And since I've started detailing to now, it's gotten crazy. You guys already know all the DMs. Hey, do you want your logo? And you want a logo?
Do you want 10 ceramic coatings?
Yeah, you want 10 ceramic
Man.
coatings, or you know, like all this crazy stuff. So if you guys are doing any marketing, a lesson that I've learned is make sure that be more concerned with their ongoing support, because you're always going to have issues with these marketing companies or businesses. If you can do marketing with somebody face to face and actually know them, opposed to somebody who's remote, that's even better. That way you can go sit down, have meetings, let them meet you, let them see your shop or your business, how you operate, so they have a better feel and can give a better idea to your potential clients of what it is you do, how you do it, who you are, and what type of business you operate. Because somebody trying to do this blindly remotely, they're going to give you the most generic things to do and to say. It's almost like those guys that are out there saying, "Oh, do you want to grow your detailing business?" This, you know what I mean? It's like just very basic, generic blanket statements that kind of touch on the buzzwords of business or marketing or new clients, whatever those are. And we've done print advertising in the past, which we've had issues with.
Horrible.
Terrible. Communication with them. They've given me attitude. We're pretty particular about the things that we do and how we do them. And we had family members, find signage of ours on the ground that was supposed to be posted up in certain locations, and it just became problematic. So as far as timelines of when things were getting printed, when things were going to be posted up, when they were going to be on location, on site, how long they were going to be up, when the actual date of service started opposed to when it ended, there was a lot of communication and a lot of miscommunication, I should say, and a lot of errors on their behalf that were never. It's like up front, they'll sell you the world. They'll sell you everything.
The salesmen, they're just there to sell you something.
But then when it's time to actually have questions and to see what's going on, they have absolutely no clue of what's going on. On the logistical end, it's a nightmare.
Miscommunication or no communication
Just lack
at all.
of communication. Yeah.
There was zero on some of the ones we did, which made it rough, horrible.
So choosing your marketing wisely. So for us, luckily, we're in a position where we don't have to do any marketing. All of our clients market for us. So that's how we handle that. And the marketing part, that all is tied into one of the big ethics and foundational pieces in our training. And if you guys are looking for training, we have one coming up.
August 23rd, August 24th, Salt Lake City.
J&G Recon will be there. Shad, the president of the IDA, will be there also. We are going to be showcasing. This is going to be a full business training on you guys, on your development, on your business development, on pretty much everything that covers the financials, everything that is scaling, target marketing, actual real marketing, customer service, optimization, tools, efficiencies, structure, process improvement, basically everything in your business to optimize it, to make it better, make it run smoother, make it to increase your revenue, to give better service, and to grow the right way, whatever it is that growth looks to you. Not everybody wants to have 5-6 mobile units and 3 shops or 5 shops, or some people want to grow at different levels. So we cater to you. So if you guys are interested, I'll leave it linked in the description below. Go check it out, August 23rd and 24th. It's going to be one that you don't want to miss, guys. So let's get back into the countdown. Number 3 is going to be working in the heat.
Oh,
Working in the heat. What time is it right now, Sal?
man, it's summertime.
No, but what, like, right now?
Right now,
what time is it?
about 10 o'clock?
So it's about 10 o'clock.
9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah.
So we had a couple mobile jobs that we had to take care of, and we've been off of work for about 45 minutes, an hour or so. So that's optimization, guys. Like, those are 2 separate locations in 2 different towns. So if you guys don't want to be working crazy and we're not hurting for money. It's not like, we're working as much as we want to work. We're controlling our schedule. We're controlling everything. And it's really, I tell Sal this all the time. Like, it's crazy that everything that people want to get into business for, they never end up doing because they don't know how to. They don't have the skills to.
Or like not working for someone else, not having someone tell them what to do, work their own hours.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they like working long hours.
Yeah.
Because these
so
guys
you are working. Yeah, you are doing it on your own, but you don't know how to do it.
Guys are working 14 hours, 15 whips.
Yeah, there's guys working sun up to sundown.
Oh, no.
That are just barely getting by. And
Shout out to all you guys doing that.
Yeah, but there's a better way, guys. You don't have to be doing that. And
better you.
We all know it's not sustainable. Do it if you have to. If you have to grind it out, but a lot of guys are doing it, and it's like that's their business now. Like that's a day to day.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, they don't know that they could do better.
Yes. So again, we got all the trainings. Consulting line is even down in the description. It's always there in all of our videos.
Yeah, working in the heat.
So we had a
video that we did 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was Sal's first year.
After that, we said no mas. This got to stop. We're not doing this.
There's a lot of issues in the heat. First of all, if you're working on paint, you have paint swell. If you're not working with DI water, you have an issue. If you don't have an air conditioned shop, you have air quality issues. You have floating particles and dust and
sweat,
contaminants and things that you're breathing in. If you're using a Tornador in a shop and it's closed up, that's not good for you. So there's a lot of things that proper ventilation and proper temperature controlled environment will improve not only your productivity, but the quality of work you're doing also, and the conditions that you're doing it in. So this heat is a couple of the guys Serrano had heat stroke. There's people that got to take weeks off because they work themselves to exhaustion, and the heat is just not something to be playing with.
And that windshield don't play nice with the heat either.
Yeah, so you get frustrated, you get depleted, you're losing everything that you have inside of your body. Like you're exhausted, you're tired, you're depleted of everything. Mentally, you start to break down, and it takes its effect on the job. Like there's no way it doesn't take an effect on the job. And I just started telling clients, the truth. Like, hey, I don't work past this time. And this was even before Sal. When Sal jumped on, obviously we had to kind of, that first year was like a test run. We had to see, what are we capable of bringing in with two people? What are we capable of cutting back on? What do we need to what can we optimize with two people? Because obviously the whole business model changed when you add somebody else in. So with that, all of that information we got during the first year, we said, you know what? Second year, let's cut back as much as possible during the summertime and see what we're capable of doing. So now summertime is our slow season. We've flipped it like what most people do. They try to work the most in the summertime, and it's complete. Our business is steady year round. January through January, it's steady. So we choose to optimize our business and increase the workload fall, winter. Summer, nope. Spring, when it starts to get warm, we slow down.
Spring and the fall.
Yeah, spring and fall. That's where the money's at. Yeah, so that's where we optimize the rest of our business. So instead of having 3 busy months, we have 9 busy months. And that works out a lot better for us. And we have our vacation time set. Like, we had a crazy heat wave, and
it's still here.
Yeah, and we were off for but we're talking, it was like 112, 115 degrees. You know what we were doing most of that time? We were chilling. We were not working. We were in the house, in the AC, relaxing, recovering from the 90-degree weather. We took a little break but when you have your business, your finances, your operations, your schedule, and all that in control, you can do that. But you can't do that when you don't understand all of that. So again, it all comes back to understanding your business. And a lot of people wouldn't be able to eliminate this stuff because they don't understand the business, and they think that they have to do these things in order to generate revenue. And that's not true. Like, you guys have all been lied to. You don't necessarily have to work more to be successful or to have a thriving business. There's different business models. You don't have to hire 10 people to make more money. Like there's ways to optimize business, guys, and that's what our trainings and our teachings are all about. So those of you who watch us and those of you that have taken our trainings, you guys already know. Shoot, so much for going live. So those of you who have taken the trainings already know the deal. You guys already know that you are capable of optimizing your business, making more money, growing, scaling, doing all of these things, even by yourself, because most people don't even understand past the surface level of what needs to be done in order to make more money, fit more people into your schedule, work less, different jobs at different price points based on your schedule and your availability, how to really free up that time, or where to find the time that you're wasting in order to make more money opposed to continuing to waste that time, and that could be from operational inefficiencies, that could be from operational process, that could be from a lot of different things. So yeah, it all comes back to understanding your business and how to operate in process improvement, and that's what our expertise is. So working in the heat, it's not going to be something that we go back to ever. Obviously, there's going to be times where, if someone's like, hey, I got this boat, whatever, it's on the water, this is the only available time. If we need to, we'll make accommodations, but we're going to make sure we're as comfortable as possible.
Slim pickings on that one.
Yes, it's as controlled as possible, and all the conditions are in our favor to where we're going to be able to get the best job done and work as comfortable as possible. So, sometimes we have some demands that are a little bit, some people may say they're ridiculous, but if that's what we need to do the job to get the level of service and to produce the end result that we're happy with, so be it. That's what it's going to take. We don't have a problem asking for those requests either. And neither should you. If you're working to a certain level and they see the work and they're referred to you and they want that level of work, but the conditions are bad. We've had people drive their cars to other towns for us where I said, okay, it's not going to work. I know that neighborhood. There's no parking on the street. The driveways are extremely small. There's a lot of foot traffic. It's going to be problematic. This is a time we need to show up. And they said, oh, well, I can't because my husband leaves to work and the neighbor parks right here. I said, okay, well, that's not going to work. So, I said, well, you're going to have to either drop it off you'll either have to drop it off at our studio, or you can make other arrangements. She called back the next day and said, hey, she told me, hold on, let me see what I can do. She really wanted us to do the work. And that's the thing. If they really want you to do the work, they're going to work with you to get it done. And, this specific client took it to another town about 20 minutes away from her, which was a little bit closer to us, which worked out even better. Went over there, worked comfortably, got the job done for her. Everything was good to go. So, so that's just a small example of what you guys can do, but it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. And a lot of people are always scared to, even if it's using a customer's water or something, or the electricity, it's all in your presentation, how you say it and how it's presented. You could say anything professionally if you know how to do it, if you know how to say it.
This is off topic, but some people got a problem taking money.
Yeah.
At the end of the service.
That's actually a good topic because a lot of people don't talk about this. Yes.
Well, let's say that for
people get uncomfortable taking money or even asking
when it's
for
time
payment.
to collect. How do you do it?
Yes, I had a little bit of an issue, and I've done cash handling since I was a teenager. So, but when it's your business and it's you, we'll talk about this in another video. But now I have no problem. Like for me, so
that'll be $1,000.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. So, but that's a very good subject. I will bring that subject. If you guys have problems collecting that cash, let us know.
We'll collect it.
Yeah, we'll collect it for you. But yeah. So anyway, Working conditions, the heat is at the number one of our priority list of things that we don't do because there's just a lot of problems with it. It's bad for your health. It's bad for the vehicle that you're working on. It's not impossible. I did it for a very long time. And there's some tips and tricks that you can do to make it easier on you. You know, one of the first things you could do is schedule it early or schedule it late. You know, the next thing is look at the forecast. Look at the best condition day that you have. You could even ask the client, hey, if you have any shade around, is it possible for you to move in the shade?
Working in the heat and the hood at the same time, that's a combination for disaster.
No. So, so conditions, specifically heat. That's one thing we just don't play with heat anymore. We don't do the heat. And customers actually respect us a lot more because of it. They're willing to say, hey, I get it.
Oh,
no.
smart!
Yeah,
some smart guys right there.
It's almost like, okay, these guys ain't just, you know, like they're not. They understand that we don't have to do the job. Like we have plenty of work coming in, you know, so we don't have to take a job where we're going to be out. So they know, okay, well, I'll make arrangements to drop it off, or I'll figure something out for you guys to be able to work comfortably. So let's get into the next one. Number 4 is going to be old gel coats.
Oh.
So we're talking trailers, we're talking boats, we're talking jet skis,
Motorhomes,
RVs, like all of those things.
We were hard-headed on this one.
Yeah, because the money. It's one of those things, the money. You know, people, they call you, they ask, oh, how much for an RV? And everybody always says, oh, it's not too bad, or there's a little bit of oxidation, there's really not much oxidation. But then you go and you see one side's always more beat up than the other. Unless it's stored indoors, there's going to be issues. And gel coats, never. First of all, I'm not sanding no gel coat. Like that's out of the question. That's how you get somebody else to do that. That's not in our business. It doesn't fit within our business model. We're not equipped to do it. We're not. If we had a big enough shop to do that, possibly. But that would be a multiple day job. I'm not gonna sit there and
I hate boats.
Yeah, and sand down boats.
I hate RVs.
Yeah, it's not fun for us. We're at the point now where we pretty much just wash them. We don't really do any. We'll do polishing, finished polishing. Let me clarify that. We'll do polishing literally just to get gloss. But if there's oxidation removal, all of that stuff, if it's over X amount of years and it's never been detailed and it's yellowed, we're not messing with it. You know, if it's a boat that they just bought that's been sitting outside for years and under a tree, and it to us, it's almost like, yeah, that money could be very, very good. But for us, there's other jobs that we can do that are going to pay, you know, somewhere in the same ballpark with a lot less headache, a lot less work, and a lot less damage in the end product. Because a lot of the issues are us trying to justify the damaged areas to the client, explaining to them why they're not going to get perfect, why they'll never be perfect again. You know, and I don't like having those conversations. I like being 100% confident with my work when I hand the work over to the client. But when there's irreversible damage, there's really nothing you can do at that point. And I like handing over the work, and I know Sal does too, because there's times where Sal's just like, I don't feel that great about this one today. Like, I don't feel good. And it's not that we didn't do a good job. It's just that we did all the recovery that we could, and it's still not up to our standards.
Like the boat can only get to 70%.
Yes.
And you can't get any higher, and 70% just doesn't look like you did a good job, but you did the best
and it may look good to the client, but for us, like our expectations and the things that we want to do, it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't match. And in order for it to match, we would need those boats and RVs a minimum of like 2-3 days to get it to where we want it to look. And, you know, so we're at the point now where we just don't, you know, if it's not at 8 out of 10 and above, we're pretty much we're not touching it. You know, we're not.
And then boats, since we don't work on those daily, there's a lot of, your eye has to get trained for those things that we don't, like for me, I'm not used to doing boats. So there's stuff that we occasionally we have the chance of missing it more.
Yeah, and we do boats.
We got one tomorrow. We got one tomorrow.
We
right?
do have one tomorrow. Yeah,
A maintenance boat.
Yeah, we have a maintenance boat tomorrow. But again, it's covered. It's at the marina. We're getting out there at 6 a.m. You know what I mean? We have access to the dock.
Well, the good
early.
thing about doing boats that you do well is you explain you explain the expectation or the circumstances of. You explain what how am I gonna put this? You explain the outcome. You go in depth in the outcome of what they're getting.
Yeah.
And if they agree with it, most of them they do, it's okay. And like you do a great job of that. We gotta put that on film when you put that on that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things with boats. It's like, okay, well, we're doing the boat. If you want us to do the cosmetics, we'll do the cosmetics. We're not here to rearrange your storage.
Like even
we're not messing with your anchors. We're not messing with if it's a fishing boat, we're not messing with any of your fishing lines or your poles, your life jackets.
or even RVs like that is we don't do interiors.
Yeah, we don't do interiors.
You're doing pretty much doing a house at that point. We're not house cleaners.
Yeah, we're not housekeeping. We're not, at that point, now you're going to probably run into an area.
Where does it stop?
Where you got to do some organizing for them, So what if there's dishes in the sink? And you're
Right.
the bed, now you got a bathroom you got to clean.
Yeah.
Okay, are you know what I mean? So no, we're not in, that's not what we do. So and there's guys out there that do. There's people that detail and they'll clean houses and stuff. They you know what I mean? If they have that background and they're okay with it, there's more power to you. That's money right there. But for us, that's not what we're doing in our business. But so gel coats, old gel coats. But right now we're specifically talking about the exteriors and just we're not here trying to save any old gel coats is what we're trying to say. Like we're not in the business of restoration of old gel coats, and a lot of those literally just cannot be saved. The things of that nature you have linings and gaskets and stuff that are brittle, that are breaking, that are damaged, that are discolored.
Then the pads that you run through, your pads get tore up.
Yeah. All your rotary pads, the gel coats, just fill those guys up. It's if you've never done a boat
don't
or
start.
RV, and we tell people like, hey, and even in our training, we tell people, if you're planning on doing your first one, take people with you, a couple people, maybe somebody who has a little bit of experience or maybe somebody who's more experienced than you, pay them the lion's share of the job and you be the assistant. You learn from them on your first boat. Because what's going to end up happening is you're going to be there working for 2-3 days. And if you're trying to do a boat with a DA that has like heavy oxidation, get out of here. Like you're just no, you're wasting your time. It could be a nightmare, as you can tell just from the way my tone changed.
Shout out to M Details, right, Anky?
Yeah, shout out to Anky, my man Anky. So gel coat, we're not trying to save them. We ain't nobody out here trying to save no old gel coats.
No.
From details. And the last thing, guys, number 5. These are in no numerical order, or they're all equally suck. Number 5 is overbooking the schedule.
That's an easy one to do.
Yeah.
Very easy.
What happens is, especially when you're new, overbooking the schedule can be so problematic. People don't realize this. People are like, oh, it's busy time of the season. I'm going to load up my schedule. It's a domino effect, like Sal said in the past. If you're late to one appointment, now you're late to all of your appointments. If you have to reschedule something, now you put a bad taste in a client's mouth, and now you're putting more workload on another day that you probably overloaded on too.
And you're probably in the heat during all this.
Yeah, and these seem like a small thing where you're like, oh, well, it's not a big deal to just reschedule something. To some people it is. They want their stuff done. If they waited 2 weeks or a month or 2 months, some of our clients wait 3-4 months to get their vehicles in, depending on, what type of work it is. And if we were to let them know, like, hey, I'm sorry, we can't get you in after they've been waiting 3 months, it's not going to be a good look for us. You just made them wait 3. And most of our clients are really excited because they know what they're going to get when we take care of their stuff. So for them to be excited and now you're just letting them down, it's like telling a kid, we're going to push back Christmas 2 weeks.
Well, that's why people get the app, so they happen with the scheduling.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah. But
it's not.
It's that's even more problematic, having something else doing your scheduling tools for you. But also, when you overload your schedule, you don't leave yourself any grace as far as getting to and from different appointments, or you're not giving yourself any room for fill-in work. Like we always keep a nice grace period for like a open area for fill-in work. If somebody's like, hey, Joel, and this is primarily for like our top tier clients. Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, Joel,
I got to have this car clean before the wife gets home this weekend. Can you be here today?
Yes.
All right.
We got you. And that right there prioritizes, when you're a top tier client of ours, we prioritize for you. All right, we can get you in that same week. Even though we're booked out 2 months, we can get you in that week because we have already set. And for those top tier clients, we already know what we're getting into because Sal tracks everything. Sal knows what type of interior that car has. Sal knows how long it took us the past 10 times we've done that car. Sal knows Sal knows if the wheels are coated, if the leather is coated. Sal knows pretty much everything about those vehicles. So if I text Sal and say, hey Sal, so-and-so wants to get in on the schedule, we have an hour and a half slot, do we have time? Sal will look at me and say, okay, average time for the past 10 times we did this vehicle, it's only taken us 48 minutes. So yes, we can. So
sometimes the answer is no. Man, this one, it's hit and miss. Mm-hmm. Hit and miss ones, we schedule those for when we can schedule them. We ain't getting in on a last minute deal on that one.
Or we can even say, hey, we have a completely booked schedule. Like one of our neighbors up the street, he wanted to sell his truck. We have a completely booked schedule, but I said, hey, go ahead. If you can drop it off on this day, we'll have it done by the end of the day for you. So he dropped it off. We took care of the stuff we had to take care of, but as soon as we were done, we prioritized his vehicle, and we had it done a day before, actually.
Right.
So when you're optimized, when your business is optimized, and like people may be saying, oh, well, you're not loading up your schedule, so how do you make money, blah, blah, blah. We make money like this because that was the extra, extra $600 on the books that we normally didn't have, like for 1 day's work on top of our other jobs that we had that day. So that's being able to optimize stuff the way that you want on your terms. It's not like, oh yeah, this guy wants a car, but oh yeah, with this one we got to drive over here and do all this. It's like, it's not a pain. Like, it's being done at your convenience, and that's what control of your business looks like. But that's all done through strong, healthy, good communication. And if you don't have those skills, if you haven't polished up those skills, you're not going to be able to do this. You're going to do it if you don't have those skills, and you're going to sound like you're unorganized. The person's like, what? You want me to do what? Huh? You're telling me to do this? Like I said, it's how you say it. It's not what you say all the time. So these are ways, guys, that we're able to optimize our business. And if you guys want to learn how to do it, we got the consulting link in the description below, and we're going to be in Salt Lake City. August 23rd, 24th. With the Born Detailers. Jamie, Shad. If you guys don't follow those guys already, go follow them. Born Details.
Their podcast is dope.
Yes.
We'll put their YouTube channel down there. Check them out. Dope.
Yes. So this training is going to be guys that are doing it, that know how to do it well. And we're going to be giving you guys industry secrets that nobody's talking about, and industry insight that they're not talking about it because a lot of people don't even understand it or comprehend it, or don't know how to relate it or teach it. So So go check it out. Link is in the description. There's limited space available for that date, for those dates in August. But you could always hit us up on the consulting line also. So that's going to wrap it up for our top 5. I hope you guys learned something. I know we did from all these mistakes. And yeah, let's hear your guys' top 5s of things that you guys don't do anymore.
I want to hear the hood stories.
Yeah. Well, let's hear any stories about gel coats, bad neighborhoods, working in the heat, overscheduling, all that good stuff. We'll catch you guys on the next one. It's Joel Sal with Details.
Later.